In the midst of a bustling community festival, a young boy holds a brush, painting a radiant garden of roses, each bloom symbolizing a story of pain transformed into hope. Moments before him, a mother weeps as her daughter, grappling with grief, finds solace in the beauty of these blossoms. All around, hearts converge in a tapestry woven from the threads of shared struggles and triumphs. But how did a simple pilgrimage to a basilica in Ferrara ignite a movement of healing and connection among the broken? This was just the beginning of the plan. Before we get to the full story, take a moment to subscribe and comment where you're from. In the year 1171, a remarkable event unfolded in the heart of Ferrara, Italy, forever etched in the fabric of faith. The local basilica, worn by centuries of time and devotion, was undergoing renovations when workers made a momentous discovery, a chalice that had once held the precious blood of Christ. This relic, hidden beneath layers of earth, would soon give rise to a miraculous event that would capture the hearts and souls of the faithful. From that sacred chalice emerged something extraordinary. Roses began to bloom, vivid and fragrant, where the consecrated blood had mingled with the soil. The townspeople, witnessing this divine display, were drawn to the basilica, their hearts brimming with curiosity and wonder. News spread like wildfire. The miraculous bloom soon became a symbol of God's unwavering love and mercy, attracting pilgrims from far and wide. People marveled at the sight of these roses, their beauty a stark contrast to the heartaches and trials of the world. Meanwhile, over 100 miles away in Milan, a 15-year-old boy named Carlo Acutis was captivated by the stories of these miraculous occurrences. With a deft understanding of technology and an ardent love for his faith, Carlo had devoted himself to investigating Eucharistic miracles. For him, these accounts were more than mere history. They were lifelines of hope connecting the divine to the mundane, testaments of God's love resonating through time. The story of the roses in Ferrara struck a particularly deep chord within him, igniting a sense of purpose that would influence his life in unimaginable ways. However, fate had dealt Carlo a cruel hand. He was diagnosed with leukemia, a painful and life-altering reality that loomed over his family like a shadow. His mother's eyes brimmed with tears as she clutched her rosary, her heart aching that her vibrant son now faced such a relentless struggle. His father often paced the hospital corridors, his brow furrowed with worry, praying for comfort and healing. Amidst the anguish, their strong Catholic faith became the bedrock upon which they stood, a shield against the tempest of despair. Carlo's illness contrasted sharply with the vivid imagery of the blooming roses, leaving him pondering the profound connection between suffering and beauty. As he spent hours engulfed in research, Carlo discovered the altar of Santa Maria in Vado, the very site where the miracle had taken place. He learned about the legacy of the roses and how Bishop Landolfo had recognized their significance, proclaiming them a divine sign for the faithful. The contrast between the miracle's grandeur and his own strife only deepened Carlo's contemplation. He yearned for clarity and meaning within his suffering, and the tale of Ferrara seemed to hold answers to questions he had long pondered. In the solitude of his hospital room, while needles pricked his skin and medications dulled his senses, Carlo found solace in the stories of the miraculous. He envisioned himself standing before the altar, feeling the warmth of the sun on his face and the fragrance of roses filling the air. The thought became a lifeline, a sanctuary amidst the chaos of his illness. As Carlo looked to the beauty of the petals and the hope they embodied, he felt a flicker of strength ignite within him, reminding him that faith often blooms in the most unexpected places. That flicker turned into a blazing desire to share the inspiration he found in his plight with others. As visitors streamed into his hospital room, he would recount tales of the Eucharistic miracles he so admired. He spoke passionately of the roses of Ferrara, describing their colors and scents, their meaning, and the love they represented. His stories captivated his friends and family, momentarily lifting the heavy veil of worry that hung over them. With each telling, Carlo's words infused life into the air, transforming pain into beauty and wounds into sacred moments of grace. As his own journey unfolded, Carlo felt a compelling urge to embark on a pilgrimage to Ferrara with his family. Each passing discussion about this trip fueled their collective hope. Could they trace the steps of pilgrims from generations past, stand before the altar, and witness firsthand the very roses that had inspired so many? This dream offered Carlo something tangible, a physical manifestation of the hope he clung to so desperately. His heart soared with possibilities, intertwining their efforts as a family with the immense legacy of faith tied to the roses. Carlo's family dynamics began to shift as they embraced this vision. The burdens of treatment and uncertainty lessened, slowly replaced by shared laughter and moments of connection. They transformed their pain into purpose, nurturing a bond fortified by mutual support and prayer. The miraculous roses became a symbol for them as they navigated the labyrinth of illness together, reminding each family member of their own capacities for hope, love, and forgiveness in the face of adversity. Yet as he faced the reality of illness, a burning question lingered in Carlo's mind. Would the journey unveil not just the historical significance of the roses, but also allow him to find deeper meaning in his own suffering? With every miracle rooted in divine beauty unfolding in Ferrara, Carlo carried an ever-growing sense that this pilgrimage would not only grace him with encounters of faith, but also guide him toward a path of transformation that transcended suffering and illuminated the power of love. The upcoming journey loomed large, a tapestry of past miracles and future hopes woven together, awaiting them on the horizon. The sun rose gently over Ferrara, casting a soft light on the cobblestone streets as Carlo and his family prepared for their journey to the basilica. The anticipation hung heavy in the air. It was palpable, electrifying. Carlo's heart raced at the thought of finally standing before the majestic altar where the miraculous roses had bloomed centuries ago. He felt as if he was on the cusp of bridging the gap between his struggles and a profound sense of spiritual truth. As they approached the basilica, Carlo could see how the historical site exuded a sense of reverence. The architecture was resplendent with intricate carvings and detailed frescoes, each telling a story of faith and miracles. People from different walks of life gathered, some with heavy hearts, others glimmering with hope, creating a tapestry of humanity drawn together by a shared belief. Carlo realized that countless souls had walked this path before him, each seeking solace, healing, or a deeper understanding of the divine. It felt immense and precious, like stepping into a living history. Once they stepped inside, Carlo was enveloped by a sacred atmosphere. The air was thick with incense and the hushed murmur of prayers. Carlo stepped closer to the altar, his heart pounding. As he saw the altar's beauty up close, tears welled in his eyes. Here in this place, the miraculous had sprung forth from the blood of Christ. It was a simple truth, yet it carried the weight of suffering and redemption, a dual reality he had come to know all too well. Carlo knelt down, his family gathering around him in solidarity. With trembling hands, he reached for the cool surface of the altar, letting the weight of the moment settle over him. "Dear God," he whispered, "let me find healing through this beauty. Let me understand how my suffering can lead to growth, just as these roses emerged from humility." His voice, though quiet, seemed to echo through the sacred space, reverberating off the walls laden with centuries of prayers. In that instance, he felt a deep connection with all the pilgrims who had come before him, their hopes and fears resonating with his own. The weight of his illness lightened momentarily, replaced by the warmth of shared faith. This was a testament to resilience and divine love, a story that transcended time. After offering their prayers, the family stepped back and took a moment to absorb their surroundings. They observed other pilgrims lighting candles, dedicating them to loved ones and placing them before the altar. The glow from the flickering flames filled the basilica with a gentle light, creating shadows that danced upon the walls. Carlo felt a swell of emotion as he understood the significance of these gestures. They were acts of faith, promises whispered to the divine, each candle telling a tale of yearning and hope. As they wandered deeper into the basilica, they came upon a small display showcasing artifacts from the miracle. Beside beautifully framed images of the roses, there were handwritten notes from pilgrims who had come to share their experiences. Carlo read several with enthusiasm. Stories of healing, consolation, and spiritual awakening flooded from the pages, echoing the sentiments he had felt within himself. Each note a reminder of the intertwining paths of suffering and redemption that humans navigated. "Can you believe this?" Carlo asked his family, holding up a note that spoke of newfound faith after despair. "These people found hope through the roses, just like I hoped to do." His parents nodded, their faces filled with pride as they saw their son immersed in this tapestry of faith. Carlo continued to read, captivated by the diversity of testimonies that lined the walls. Each story felt like a thread woven into the fabric of something much greater than himself. In those exhilarating moments, Carlo felt the essence of the pilgrimage taking root in his being. He understood that the journey was not solely about visiting the site, it was about connecting with his faith on a deeper level. The roses symbolized transformation. They blossomed through suffering and pain, mirroring his own fight against leukemia. Carlo began to comprehend that, like the roses, he too had the potential to grow, to thrive, and to share his story. As they continued to explore, Carlo's focus shifted to the local botanists who studied the miraculous roses for their unique properties. Curious and eager to learn more, he watched as they discussed the physical aspects of the blooms and their resilience in the face of adversity. "These roses adapt and flourish in their environment," one botanist remarked, gesturing at the blooms encased in glass. "They remind us that beauty can emerge from hardship." Carlo felt that profound truth resonate with the core of his journey. That afternoon, his family gathered in a quiet courtyard within the basilica grounds. The setting sun painted the sky with hues of orange and pink, casting a warm glow over their faces. A sense of peace enveloped them as they reflected on their experiences together. It was a moment of gratitude for the beauty of their surroundings, for their family bond, and for the miracle that had brought them together. "Each of us carries our own stories," Carlo's father said gently, looking at his son. "Your journey has its own significance, and through your struggles you can inspire others." Tears brimmed in Carlo's eyes once again, but this time they were touched by gratitude rather than sorrow. He understood that his fight was not in vain. It was part of a larger narrative that encompassed love, resilience, and the hope that they could share with others. With renewed purpose, they decided to write their own notes of thanks and hopes for the future, dedicating them to the altar. Carlo began to scribble down his thoughts, expressing his desire to grow through his experiences, to bloom like the miraculous roses. His parents followed suit, sharing their prayers, their love, and their unwavering support. They hung their notes on a corkboard nearby, becoming part of the evolving tapestry of faith within the basilica. As they departed that day, Carlo took one last look at the altar, feeling an indescribable warmth in his heart. Their pilgrimage had revealed the transformative power of faith, not only through the miraculous roses, but also through the bonds they shared as a family. They had entered the basilica carrying their individual struggles, but they left woven together in a shared experience of hope and healing. The trip to Ferrara had been far more than a mere visit to a historic site. It had become a profound exploration of their faith and connection as a family. Carlo realized that the roses had served their purpose, guiding him toward a newfound understanding and a journey of transformation. But more importantly, the stories of his family's love and faith ignited a fire within him that he would carry with him always. As they drove away from Ferrara, Carlo could feel the seeds of faith blossoming in his heart, ready to bloom in ways he had yet to imagine. In the days following their transformative pilgrimage to Ferrara, Carlo found himself immersed in a new rhythm. The experience at the basilica echoed in his mind, its lessons simmering just below the surface, waiting for the right moment to bloom. It was as if the miraculous roses had taken root in his heart, spreading branches into every corner of his life. With each passing day, he sensed a shift in himself, a stirring towards something greater. Back in Milan, Carlo shared his thoughts and feelings with friends and family during dinner. They would gather around the table, the aroma of home-cooked meals wafting through the air as laughter and stories filled the room. Carlo was no longer just talking about studies or his favorite video games. He felt the deep need to share the stories of hope he had encountered during their visit, the very tales that transformed his perspective. "Have you ever thought about how powerful it is to share our struggles?" Carlo asked one evening, leaning forward. The room quieted, everyone's attention shifting to him. "When we open up about our experiences, we create connections. Like the roses, we can thrive together, even in the darkness." His family nodded, their faces reflecting understanding and agreement. His mother spoke first. "You're right, Carlo. Sharing can uplift others and create real change." Inspired by the warmth of the moment, she continued, "What if we start something? A small community group where we come together to share our stories." This idea ignited a spark in Carlo. "We could create a series of gatherings. We can invite neighbors, friends, anyone who wants to share their journey." His parents exchanged glances, their excitement evident, and soon they were brainstorming details: how to organize the gatherings, finding a suitable space, and how to facilitate group discussions. In the weeks that followed, they hosted the first gathering in their living room, which quickly transformed into a welcoming space adorned with candles and flowers. The energy buzzed with every individual who walked through the door, each bringing their own story, unexpected yet beautiful. As they introduced themselves, a mix of friends, acquaintances, and new faces, Carlo could feel the palpable warmth and curiosity in the room. "Welcome, everyone," Carlo greeted them, his voice steady but laced with excitement. "Tonight isn't only about sharing our stories, it's about creating connections, celebrating resilience, and finding beauty amidst challenges." He felt their attentive gazes converse with him, encouraging him as he spoke. As the evening unfolded, Carlo listened intently as others shared their experiences. A woman named Sofia described her struggle with anxiety and how a recent health scare had prompted her to search for faith and comfort. "I found strength through prayer and through connecting with others who understand," she expressed. Her honesty created a wave of vulnerability within the room, a space where each person felt seen and heard in their truth. A young man named Luca followed, recounting his journey of grief after losing his father. "I felt completely lost," he said, his voice trembling. "But I learned that it was okay to not be okay, and through it, I discovered a community that rallied around me." Each story resonated with Carlo, mirroring the transformative narratives he hoped to communicate. As the night unfolded, Carlo realized the beauty of their shared experiences, the threads of hope and resilience woven through each testimony. The roses in Ferrara became a continuing motif, a reminder that beauty could rise even from the depths of sorrow. People began to discuss their shared crises and moments of enlightenment. laughter and tears interspersed as the walls of isolation crumbled, replaced by a collective understanding. After the gathering, Carlo felt light and fulfilled, the bonds of connection swirling around him. His heart swelled with hope, knowing they had created a sanctuary where everyone could come together to uplift one another. The evening sparked a sense of purpose in him. He wanted to do more, build on this foundation of faith and connection. Over the next months, the gatherings continued to flourish and evolve. Each one brought new friendships, shared meals, and stories of healing. Carlo learned how to facilitate discussions, encouraging an environment where everyone felt safe to open up. He established a theme for each gathering, weaving in elements of spirituality and mutual support. They sometimes invited guest speakers, fellow pilgrims who had encountered miracles on their journeys. The gatherings began to attract a wider circle of community members. Each story shared took root in the hearts of others, fostering hope and transformation. Families who had been grappling with their own battles came forward, seeking solace in shared experiences, much like those who had gathered around the altar in Ferrara. Yet as Carlo delved deeper into his mission, he could not escape the reality of his own health condition. There were days when exhaustion clouded his focus, when the burden of his illness cast a shadow over his spirit. He often retreated to quiet spaces, seeking strength through prayer and reflection. It was in these moments of solitude that the lessons of the miraculous roses returned to him, blooming into clarity. Resilience went hand in hand with vulnerability. Carlo found peace in acknowledging that he, too, was on a journey marked with both light and darkness. One evening, as he shared his own experience with the group, his struggles with leukemia and how it shaped his faith, the room fell silent. Tears sparkled in the eyes of others as they absorbed his truth. When he finished, applause erupted, but more importantly, there was a wave of compassion that united them all. It became clear that Carlo's journey was not just about himself, it was about collective healing. The conversations sparked empathy and understanding among the group, blending their individual experiences into a beautiful tapestry. Carlo reflected on how their shared vulnerability unfolded more miracles, repurposing sorrow into strength. As the gatherings persisted, Carlo began collecting new stories for the website he had launched. Each sharing illuminated the diverse ways faith manifested in lives differently, a testament to the beauty behind their struggles. He compiled stories with care, posting them alongside images of roses as symbols of their collective journey. The website soon grew in popularity, casting a wider net that connected people across regions, each able to share and experience healing through their stories. Carlo felt a surge of gratitude, knowing that the seeds planted at the gatherings were yielding fruits that ripened into communal support. His own heart swelled as the messages of hope reached further, accompanying others who searched for light in their darkness. Meanwhile, Carlo had also learned about local organizations that provided support to families facing similar challenges to his own, and he began to explore potential partnerships. Each space he walked into felt like a continuation of the mission he had undertaken. As the seasons changed and autumn rolled in with its vibrant hues, Carlo's family hosted a significant gathering themed Harvest of Miracles. It was meant to celebrate the growth they had all experienced together. Friends who had attended from the beginning joined in to speak about the beauty they recognized in their struggles. They decorated the community center with flowers, photographs from previous gatherings, and handmade crafts created by members to illustrate their journeys. The air buzzed with enthusiasm as they set the stage for deep sharing interspersed with laughter and gratitude. On the day of the event, participants shared stories satirizing their struggles, ranting about their triumphs, finding joy amidst grief, and uplifted each other with laughter and companionship. As Carlo spoke about how the roses in Ferrara had inspired their community gatherings, he recognized how far they had all come since that first timid meeting. Today we honor our individual journeys that come together to form this beautiful tapestry, Carlo expressed, standing at the front, his voice resonating with sincerity. Every eye in the room was trained on him, hearts aligned, souls present. Among the thorns of life, we fostered blossoms of hope and connection. Each of you embodies the spirit of resilience, reminding us that miracles arise even when we feel closest to despair. As applause filled the air, Carlo felt the warmth of unity enveloping him, the realization that he was part of a greater picture. Each individual was a reflection of the roses that had sprung forth from the most unlikely soil, expressing gratitude for the collective journey that had unfolded. The gathering filled with a sense of hope and faith, a vibrant celebration of their intertwined lives. In that moment, he understood that their story, like the blooming roses, would continue to grow, reaching out far beyond the confines of each gathering. With faith as their foundation, they had cultivated an environment where miracles could thrive, and within that nurturing soil, every participant would continue to bloom. Each story told, each miracle celebrated, was a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, testifying that even in the darkest of times, beauty could emerge in magnificent and unexpected ways. As the festival day drew to a close, the air was thick with laughter and the scent of flowers, a true celebration of the human spirit and its capacity to rise from adversity. Carlo looked around, absorbing the vibrant energy pulsating through the park. Each smile, every shared story was a testament to their collective journey, a reminder that hope could flourish in even the most difficult of circumstances. Carlo noticed families gathered together, some creating flower crowns while others painted their experiences on large canvases that decorated the park. The festival had turned into a canvas of their shared experiences, illustrating triumphs over struggles. Children chased one another under the laughter of their parents, each joyous squeal adding to the jubilant atmosphere. As dusk settled in, casting a warm glow over everything, Carlo took a moment to step back and reflect. Memories of the gathering of fellow pilgrims and the miracles they had shared in Ferrara flooded his mind. He remembered Marco's story of grief and how vulnerability had created a bond where none had existed before. He recalled Sophia's journey, how she had learned to face her anxiety with newfound courage and faith. Most poignantly, he could still feel the weight of Rosa's words as they hovered in the air, heavy with emotion and sincerity. Inspired by those who had poured their hearts out, Carlo decided to gather everyone for one last story-sharing session as the sun set behind them, bathing the park in hues of orange and gold. Holding a microphone, he gathered attention with a wave, inviting everyone to find their seats once more. "I know we've shared so much today, but I feel like we can fit in just one more round of stories before we close this beautiful event," he announced, energy coursing through him. Participants eagerly returned to their spots, the atmosphere electric with anticipation. With each story shared, the bonds among them deepened. A man named Anton spoke of losing his job and the years he had spent feeling worthless, and how he eventually embraced volunteer work at the local food bank. "In giving back, I found a purpose that I had lost. I no longer define myself by my job, but by how I can serve others," he explained. His words echoed in the hearts of others, stirring encouragement among the attendees. Carlo's eyes glistened as he witnessed the artistry of connection unfold, each story linked to the next, creating a beautiful embroidery of humanity woven together through laughter and tears. He felt a sense of sacredness enveloping them, affirming the unspoken truth that came with being truly seen and heard. As the final stories faded into the night, Carlo asked everyone to step outside of their comfort zones. "Let's form a circle," he said, his heart beating faster at the thought. "In the center, we'll place these roses. Each of us will take a turn sharing one word or a phrase that encapsulates what we are taking away from today." Curious murmurs spread among the attendees as they formed a large circle, their faces illuminated by warm fairy lights strung across the park. In the center, Carlo carefully placed a bouquet of roses, symbolizing the resilience and beauty of their shared experiences. As the circle closed, the first volunteer stepped forward. "Hope," a young girl named Lucia said, her voice ringing with clarity. "Joy," called out another. "Love," "faith." Each word floated above their heads, gathering momentum, becoming a collective tapestry of values they aspired to embrace. With every contribution, the bouquet in the center continued to represent the essence of their shared journey. At last, it was Carlo's turn. He stepped forward, feeling the steady gaze of his community on him. "I want to say," he started, feeling the weight of the moment settle upon him. "I want to say courage." A hush swept through the gathered crowd as he continued. "Courage to face our struggles, to speak our truths, and to support each other. Much like the miraculous roses, we find strength in vulnerability and rise again and again." As he spoke, Carlo felt an overwhelming sense of unity wash over him. These people were not just attendees, they were his companions on this journey of life, each of them shapes that reflected the aggregated beauty of the human experience. The courage they had displayed created a safe haven where authenticity thrived and healing flowed freely. As the last person shared their word, resilience, the night sky transformed into a velvety canvas of stars. Each individual gazed upward, drawn to the sense of wonder that filled the night air. The gathering had turned into something transcendent, hearts were stirred, and souls connected like never before. As Carlo looked around at the faces illuminated by the twinkling stars, he sensed that their shared journey was but a small chapter in a much larger narrative, the overarching tale of hope prevailing over despair. The event may have come to a close, but the seeds they had planted were only beginning to sprout. With the festival winding down, Carlo lingered a moment longer, savoring the sweetness of shared laughter and stories. He envisioned the continuous growth that lay ahead for each individual, as well as for their community as a whole. They had become the gardeners tending to the flowers of hope. Returning to his family, Carlo felt buoyed by the shared experience. They embraced one another, proud of what they had achieved together. "We did something really special," his mother said, her voice choked with emotion. Carlo nodded, feeling the weight of her words. Their love had nourished the seeds they had planted, allowing them to bloom into something vibrant and profound. In the days that followed, Carlo focused on the momentum they had gathered. The festival had opened doors, allowing connections to flourish. Individuals began to reach out, seeking support in more personalized ways. People started arranging coffee meetups and smaller group discussions, giving rise to even deeper conversations. Carlo continued contributing to the website, capturing the essence of the festival and preserving the emergent stories that had threaded through their lives. Each submission painted a clearer picture of resilience, weaving together a lush tapestry that represented their collective journey. He had found purpose in these stories and began recruiting volunteers from the community, fostering a sense of ownership among those who had gathered. With success echoing through the park, the blossoms of hope continued to permeate their lives as they envisioned a brighter future. Carlo's resolve deepened, reaffirming that together they could cultivate a sanctuary of love and acceptance, allowing the miraculous roses of their lives to proliferate far and wide. As winter embraced the world outside, Carlo found warmth in the community that had formed around him. Gatherings continued, evolving into a place of refuge where the spirit of the miraculous lived on. And in this flourishing garden of souls, they each discovered that the beauty they sought often emerged from the truths they shared, enveloped by the love of those who bore witness to their journey. The miraculous roses, both in Ferrara and within their hearts, flourished and thrived, promising a harvest of hope for many seasons to come. As spring began to unfold, the world outside hinted at renewal, vibrant buds peeking through the remnants of winter's chill. Inside, Carlo felt equally invigorated by the momentum within his community. The gatherings had transformed into a heartfelt tradition, not just for sharing stories, but for cultivating connections that transcended the individual struggles they each faced. There was a palpable sense of anticipation in the air. Each meeting promised new insights, laughter, and the collective embrace of healing. With the success of their book project, Carlo and his friends sought to maintain the spirit of camaraderie. They decided to host a series of workshops focused on creative expression through art and storytelling, allowing community members to explore their emotions and experiences in new, powerful ways. The workshops would not only deepen their connections, but also yield fresh narratives for future gatherings. Their stories, like the roses they revered, would continue to bloom. On a sunny Saturday morning, the first workshop commenced in the community center, filled with energy and laughter. Carlo and his fellow volunteers decorated the space with handmade banners and blooming flowers, creating a welcoming atmosphere. The scent of fresh paint mingled with the warmth of community as attendees arrived, eager to unleash their creativity. "Welcome everyone," Carlo announced, excitement bubbling in his voice as he surveyed the eclectic group gathered. "Today, we're going to explore what happens when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, both in our stories and in our art. Every piece we create will tell a story, perhaps one that has yet to be discovered." The room buzzed with anticipation, fueled by the unspoken possibility that lay ahead. They quickly transitioned into small groups, encouraging collaboration that fostered friendships as they exchanged ideas and inspiration. With canvas and brushes in hand, participants began pouring their emotions onto the vibrant surfaces, laying bare their experiences, hopes, and dreams through color and form. One participant, a young man named Enzo, poured his heart into his painting, using bold strokes to depict the waves of his journey grappling with mental health. "I've always found it hard to express myself," he admitted, surrounded by friends who lent their support. "But here, I feel inspired to show what my struggles look like." Carlo moved among the groups, encouraging each person to dig deeper into their emotions. He marveled at the diversity of experiences being expressed through the artwork. Every canvas told a different tale, weaving together a narrative of resilience. Laughter erupted as some participants playfully experimented with colors, while others worked earnestly, weaving stories into every brushstroke. At one corner of the room, Rosa painted a garden of roses, each bloom representing moments from her journey, a visual reminder of her brother's memory and her own growth since losing him. The vibrancy of her palette reflected her steady resolve as she shared her story with others, many of whom resonated with the themes of growth amidst grief. As the workshop unfolded, Carlo recognized the transformative power of sharing and creating. Each piece that emerged from the day spoke volumes about the human experience, articulating truths too complex to express through mere words. Vulnerability ignited creativity, and through art, they cultivated a deeper understanding of one another. After hours of painting and storytelling, the room radiated with a unique warmth. Each participant presented their work, sharing stories behind their pieces and fostering newfound connections with one another. The collective energy swelled as they celebrated their creations, a moment where sharing became a form of catharsis, healing both the individual and the community in profound ways. As Carlo observing the presentations, he could feel the roots of their friendships digging deeper. The paintings adorned the walls like a garden in full bloom, each holding the essence of their transformative journeys. He realized that this was not just an outlet for creativity, it was a stepping stone toward healing, fostering a supportive network that would continue to flourish. While they cleaned up at the end of the day, energy still buzzed throughout the group. Carlo felt grateful for this tight-knit community, an assemblage of souls willing to explore the depths of their struggles together. Their connections, once forged through shared vulnerability, now held the promise of a collective future marked by resilience. The workshops continued into the following weeks, each one bringing fresh faces and encouraging deeper bonds. As spring transitioned into summer and the world around them burst with life, Carlo sensed their community growing stronger, emboldened by creativity, deep connections, and a profound understanding of what it meant to support one another. Throughout the summer, the workshops evolved further, incorporating new elements that inspired individuals to connect. They began hosting evening camps outdoors, where they painted under the stars and shared stories around the fire. The gentle rustle of the trees and the soft glow of the flames fostered an atmosphere of warmth, allowing authenticity to flow freely. One transformative evening, Carlo invited a local artist to teach a special session on creating visual narratives, how to transform personal stories into illustrated journeys. The group engaged enthusiastically, and as the sun dipped below the horizon, the art pieces began to take shape, each reflecting the unique stories and experiences of those involved. By the end of the session, there was a sense of excitement surrounding the community's growing artistic expression, a tangible manifestation of hope. As summer waned and autumn approached, the friendships forged through shared stories spilled out into the public community. The group became known for their art, each canvas symbolizing triumph over tragedy, and began to participate in local festivals, showcasing their work and sharing their narratives with a wider audience. At one of these festivals, Carlo stood beside the vibrant display, beaming with pride as he watched attendees engage with the art and the stories that accompanied them. This was the harvest of hope they had all cultivated together, the fruits of resilience, blooming in magnificent abundance. It was humbling to witness the impact their stories had on the community, sparking conversations and reminding everyone that hope could blossom amid life's challenges. One afternoon, as Carlo leaned against the display, a mother approached him with her young daughter. Tears glistened in her eyes as she pointed to Rosa's painting of the Garden of Roses. "My daughter has been struggling with grief after losing her grandfather," she said, her voice trembling. "This piece speaks to her, reminding us all that beauty can emerge from sadness." Carlo felt a swell of emotion as the girl stepped forward, her small fingers tracing the petals of the painted roses. "It's beautiful," she said softly, her gaze hopeful. "Can I paint my own flowers too?" "Yes," Carlo replied warmly, kneeling beside her. "You can paint whatever represents your story and bring it to life. You belong here." The mother smiled, her heart visibly lifted at the kindness. It was moments like these that reinforced Carlo's commitment to nurturing the community further. They were not just sharing stories, they were creating spaces where individuals could find healing and hope, no matter their experiences. As autumn began to paint the world in warm hues, Carlo envisioned a larger gathering, a culmination of their efforts to celebrate the profound connection they had forged. He proposed a community art festival, inviting all the artists and storytellers they had connected with over the past months to showcase their work. The idea excited everyone, and quickly the plans unfolded. In the weeks leading up to the festival, the sense of unity intensified. Committees formed to handle organizing logistics, promoting the event, and gathering local artists to participate. Each step expanded their community reach. Carlo felt a bubbling sense of excitement, believing that this festival could be a beacon for anyone searching for hope amid their struggles, a festival of resilience. As the date of the festival approached, anticipation hung thick in the air. The community worked tirelessly, creating posters, curating displays, and setting up the venue. Each mural, each piece of artwork would represent the collective heart of people willing to share courageously. Finally, the day arrived. The park transformed into a vibrant hub bursting with color, joy, and life. As families and friends arrived, they were met with laughter, music, and art everywhere. Underneath the sun-dappled trees, Carlo moved among the festivities, greeting each guest with warmth and gratitude. At the center of the park stood a beautifully adorned stage where artists took turns sharing their creations and stories with the audience. The first presentation came from Marco, who spoke of love and loss, inviting the crowd to embrace both. As he shared, a hush fell over the audience, captivated by the power of vulnerability. The festival continued throughout the day, weaving in stories, art, and camaraderie. As twilight descended, lanterns flickered to life, illuminating the joy focused on the evening's final presentations. Carlo listened intently, feeling the heartbeats of his community within each shared story. As he made his way toward the stage, he suddenly understood that this event was not just a culmination of their artistic efforts. It was a celebration of the miraculous roses, not just the ones in Ferrara, but the ones blooming amidst struggles here in his own community. With a deep breath, he stepped onto the stage, taking in the sea of faces before him, and for a moment he was overwhelmed with gratitude. "This is more than just an art festival," he began, his voice firm yet tender. "It's a testament to our resilience, our strength, and the connections we've forged. Together, we've created a garden of hope that echoes far beyond these festivities." As applause erupted, Carlo felt the warmth of unity wrap around him. He knew that their collective stories, filled with grief, joy, and everything in between, had merged into this vibrant garden of miracles, symbolizing the beauty of life's relentless pursuit of growth. And as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a final golden glow over the festival, Carlo realized that the miraculous roses they had nurtured would continue to bloom, illuminating paths for others to follow long after they had departed. Together, they had forged something that transcended individual journeys, a community blossoming into a lasting legacy of hope. As the festival drew to a close, Carlo and his community basked in the afterglow of their collective achievement. Vibrant conversations filled the air, each exchange resonating with the warmth of camaraderie that had blossomed among them. They had shared stories and laughter, each moment adding a layer of richness to the tapestry they were weaving together. In the following days, Carlo found himself reflecting on the impact of the festival. The stories shared and connections forged echoed in his heart, pushing him to further cultivate the community they had built. He realized that the energy generated during the event could not be confined to just one day. It had the potential to grow into something lasting. Inspired by the spirit of resilience evident during the festival, Carlo decided to form a monthly story circle. These gatherings would allow people to come together, create art, and share experiences regularly. "It's important that we keep this energy alive," he shared with his parents one evening. "We can build on the connections we've made and provide a consistent space for healing." His parents supported his initiative wholeheartedly, excited about the new venture. They offered to help publicize the event, spreading the word throughout the community and organizing outreach to local schools, churches, and organizations. Carlo began to draft flyers, writing passionately about the purpose behind the story circle, to foster connection, understanding, and healing through shared experiences. By the end of the week, the first story circle was scheduled. Excitement pulsated through Carlo as he prepared the room, setting up colorful posters from the festival to remind participants of their blossoming community. He gathered art supplies, comfortable seating, and arranged for refreshments, all to create an inviting atmosphere. As people began to arrive, Carlo felt a bubbling exhilaration in his chest. Familiar faces filled the room alongside new ones, each soul drawn together by the shared experience of seeking connection and understanding. He opened the evening by sharing his vision for the circle, encouraging everyone to share their stories, whatever they might be, without fear of judgment. "Tonight is about embracing the messiness of life," he said. "Through vulnerability, we can create an environment where healing happens, where we can nurture one another as a community." Heads nodded in agreement, eyes glistening with understanding. The circle began with icebreaker activities, where participants mixed and mingled, forming connections through shared interests and experiences. Laughter echoed as they exchanged stories about the festival and their respective journeys, art becoming a bridge between them. As the evening wore on, participants began to share their more personal stories, weaving their narratives into the fabric of the circle. Sophia spoke of her ongoing battle with anxiety, how opening up and creating art had helped her reclaim her strength. "It's not easy, but every time I let my voice be heard, I feel a little more free," she shared, her courage igniting encouragement in others. Carlo watched intently, moved by the power of community support. Each story shared became a sacred thread connecting all who listened, softening the barriers that often kept people apart. He felt a gentle push from within, knowing that this was where transformation thrived, through authentic connections and validation of one another's experiences. Night after night, as the story circles continued, vibrant expressions of healing flowed from each individual, reflecting their struggles, triumphs, and the beauty that emerged from it all. Art supplies were employed not only in painting, but with creative writing, music, and even theater, allowing participants to explore different modalities of expression. As winter transitioned into spring, the circle began to expand, drawing new faces eager to join the community of resilience. Carlo felt humbled by the growth, witnessing the blossoming of what the festival had catalyzed, the collective garden of hope, now more lush and abundant than ever. One evening, as they prepared for another story circle, Carlo was struck by an idea. "Let's organize an art exhibition showcasing the creative works produced from our gatherings," he excitedly proposed. "It can serve as a celebration of our journey and inspire others to share their own stories." The enthusiasm in the room was immediate, energy sparking as they brainstormed how to bring their vision to life. The following weeks became a whirlwind of creativity and collaboration. Community members contributed their artwork while others offered to help organize the exhibition, drawing in local artists to foster a spirit of teamwork. They chose a venue, the community center, where they had shared so many heartwarming moments before. As the exhibition opening day approached, anticipation filled the air. Carlo could sense the excitement brewing, as many shared their expectations of being seen and honored through their creations. In that moment, he realized the true power of the community was not just the art they had created, but the bonds formed along the way. When the day of the exhibition arrived, the community center sparkled with color and life. Guests mingled among the displays, their spirits soaring as they engaged with the art that told stories of resilience, hope, and triumph. Carlo felt a profound sense of belonging watching everyone gather around, feeling the warmth of unity envelop the room. The exhibition was not just about showcasing art. It was about celebrating the shared journey taken together, laying bare the strength of vulnerability. Each piece on display served as a reminder to everyone that amidst life's challenges, beauty could always emerge. As the evening unfolded, Carlo took a moment to glance at the faces surrounding him. Their smiles spoke volumes of gratitude and pride. In his heart, he knew their stories would continue to grow roots in the community, guiding others seeking connection. On that vibrant night, surrounded by love and laughter, Carlo understood that the miraculous roses they nurtured had blossomed into something far greater than anyone had envisioned when they first began their journey. They had created a space where souls could flourish and gardens of hope could thrive. Their legacy of resilience would become a guiding light for the many seasons to come. A truly deserved lesson. If you agree, please like this video and subscribe for more stories, and tell us what you thought in the comments.